we are at time. Chris, we good? All right, so good afternoon, everyone. And hello to all of you who are joining us online today. It's so great to be here in person at Microsoft Ignite. So some of you in the audience actually have been hearing about, so my team over the last few years have been hosting a series of marketing moments. We call CSP marketing moments. Sometimes they are being labeled as CSP acceleration events. So we run this quarterly, and we actually have thousands of CSP partners around the world joining us. Just out of curiosity, how many of you actually have heard of it or has been part of the CSP marketing moments that we've been running? Fantastic, fantastic. I am so excited and happy to actually meeting a lot of you in person in one room and having an interactive conversation for the next 45 minutes with the team. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sela Gu, and I lead the CSP growth marketing team for Modern Work and Business Application, which also includes the Copilot lineup Microsoft has to offer. And today, I'm joined by my colleagues, Marcelo from the GPS team, and also Matt, also from the team. So all three of us, we're going to tag team and spend the next 45 minutes with you. And we're going to talk you through all the learnings that we have across the Modern Work Copilot lineup in terms of the learnings that we have and the investment Microsoft is making in all of you, as well as what are the opportunities we see going ahead in the next 6 to 9 months for all of you. So the 45-minute session, I'm going to divide it into 3 chapters. In the first chapter, I will just do a quick overview of the learnings that we have based on the momentum that we have seen over the last 12 months. I will also talk about a quick recap of a lot of the product and program announcement that Microsoft has made over the last few weeks that's super relevant for all of you CSP partners. Last but not least, I will also talk a little bit about the investment Microsoft is making in you across the core Microsoft 365 business, as well as Copilot and Copilot for Studio. So Marcelo will come up, and he's going to do a double click on the Microsoft 365 core business, and Matt will do a double click on Copilot and Copilot Studio. So that will be sort of the plan for the next 45 minutes. Sounds good? All right, so let's go. So this is a slide where it's a great reflection slide to talk about the momentum that we have seen across Microsoft 365 in terms of our core foundational productivity business, what I call the Microsoft 365 Enterprise Suites, Business Suites, as well as our Copilot offerings. So some of you might recall, November 2023, exactly 12 months ago, Microsoft introduced the first commercial available product for Copilot for Microsoft 365 for our enterprise customers. This is exactly 12 months ago. Boy, what has been an incredible 12 months of product innovation and business model innovation. So in my 17 years of Microsoft experience, I have never seen the speed of innovation happen so fast across product features as well as business model and programmatic innovations. So it's been incredible 12 months for all of us. And watching how AI transforming not only the landscape that we have around productivity, around generated AI, as well as a lot of the go-to-market motion that we have at Microsoft. So it has been an incredible 12 months for all of us. From a core productivity perspective, interestingly enough, generative AI has been amazing Trojan horse or halo effect that we have created for foundational productivity. So some of you might recall in the recent earnings calls, our CFO, Amy Hood, has shared, so for Modern Work, in our Microsoft 365 commercial paid subscriber, we have over 400 paid subscribers today, and we are growing strong. I think the latest number that's public and available is we're still growing 8% year over year with a 400 million paid subscriber base, which is incredible. However, we are seeing an acceleration of that momentum over the last 6 to 12 months because of generative AI. So some of you may have customers that are experiencing the same scenarios we have seen collectively. Customers who still have content staying on-prem, or workflows, or even system of records staying on-prem, as they are inspired by the new generative AI capabilities, they are considering and they are making the changes to move their content to SharePoint Online, to move their system of record, their workflow to online services, so they can take advantage of the Gen AI capabilities. This is collectively amazing opportunity for all of you, and also to Microsoft as well, to enable these customers on scenarios they were not able to establish previously. So incredible momentum across foundational productivity as well as Gen AI. And this is a quick moment to pause and thank you for all of you for being part of this transformation journey that we have been on across Microsoft 365 as well as Copilot over the last 12 months. I know it has not been easy because the amount of product innovation and changes we all have collectively managed is enormous. But big thank you to all of you to contribute to the tremendous momentum that we have seen. So the next two slides, I want to share with you sort of the reflection that we have within Microsoft in terms of what we are learning from all of you and also our customers over the last 12 months. On a super high level, I summarize this into 3 parts. The first part, what we are learning is, with our CSP business on the new commerce platform, so I'm sure all of you have been through this transformation journey to get on NCE. So one thing that has been super interesting and learning for all of us is renewal, which is a traditional, it's a more flexible and agile process, now becomes a much more important muscle for all of us to gain, to manage effectively, so you can optimize your revenue as part of renewal at scale. And this learning is a journey that is new to a lot of us, and Microsoft is also learning that this is an area we need to help all of us and help you to do better going forward. So this is the first one. The second piece, we also are learning, customers are super excited about Gen AI capabilities. The demand is definitely there. Every customer is knocking on the door to learn more about how Gen AI and how Copilot can help them to be more successful as a business. However, customers are also super cautious. They are knocking on the door, they are tipping their toes, but they're taking baby steps. So the journey of enabling them on Gen AI capability, all of you CSP partners need to play an important role to get them on a journey, how to get them started, how to establish value and impact, and eventually how do you help expand and enable their full company on their Gen AI journey. So the AI transformation journey is not going to be a one-step process. It will be multiple steps, and we have to do that together. The third piece that's the learning I think is very much coming from all of you is we have heard a lot of you telling us there's just too many product changes and the program changes coming from Microsoft. So how many of you are feeling that way? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we definitely feel your well, with you. I don't know if it's a pain, but this is part of the transformation we are all feeling together. So what we want to say is we are definitely acknowledging that, and you could see in the coming slides what we are doing proactively to help address that and to really support you in a better way going forward. So 3 things I really want to cover. So obviously, talk about the importance of renewal moments going forward on NCE. So we are definitely making an effort to investing in your capability, both from a tooling, programs, and content perspective to help you drive better upsell and better planning around your renewal rhythm as you manage your customers on NCE going forward. So you'll hear Marcelo double-click into that in his chapter in a little bit. The second piece, we are doing tons of investment to enable you to build AI offerings for your customers, starting from getting started and how do you expand them and how do you build value and impact to your customers. And Matt is going to double-click into that. And last but not least, we are going to do a lot more in terms of ongoing proactive communication and feedback gathering with all of you, so we can provide a curated set of content to you that's relevant to CSP channel. Because if you listen to so probably many of you were at the Satya announcement on Tuesday, just amount of updates, even coming from one keynote announcement, I don't know how many of you were there. It was like a lot, right? If you hear the amount of like new product general availability or even public preview, sometimes I get a sense from partners like it's kind of disorienting, just the speed of innovation coming across the portfolio from Microsoft. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to curate a lot of these product and program updates, because not just the product updates, we're also doing a lot of innovation from program and GTM perspective into a CSP-centric communication. And we really want to make sure we can provide that curated content to all of you so you know sort of what are the changes and updates is super relevant for your business going forward. So with that, I just want to do a quick recap of, in the spirit of making sure that most important product and program updates is really top of mind for all of you. My team and myself summarized the slides, and I just really want to talk you through across the portfolio for core productivity, modern work, as well as Copilot. Over the last couple of weeks, and I think as of was public to you today, these are the 6 things I really want to make sure all of you are aware and are having plans to address that in the coming weeks. So the first 3 things, the 1, 2, 3, they are Copilot announcement that we made over the last couple of weeks. First one is already in market. This is the 15% off Microsoft 365 Copilot for 10 plus seats. And this is what we call the CSP Copilot Getting Started offer. So I mentioned previously the importance of for CSP partners' role to helping your customer to getting started with Copilot, not as a license purchase motion, but as a packaged offering. So this is our intent to address that. This offer has been in market since September 1st, and it's still in market, and the current formation is going to expire at the end of the calendar year. So I want to make sure you are aware of this. The second piece is super important. We announced this actually last Tuesday. If you have seen that, that's great. But we are launching a new annual monthly commitment version of Copilot for Microsoft 365, meaning the customers still commit to the licensing term of 12 months, but to address their cash flow concern, they can pay on a monthly basis. So this is a brand new offer that's going live in CSP Partner Center on 12/1. So it's going to come up in a couple days. Super important, December 1st, 2024. And the third piece, I don't know if you guys have seen this one or tracking this one. So one of the common feedback we have heard from customer and partners is like understanding the customer content environment in terms of data compliance, data security. There's a way that they want an inexpensive way for them to be able to scan the customer's environment to understand if they're Copilot ready. So SharePoint Advanced Management, which short for SAM, is the capability to enable the data scanning to ensure customer is ready for Copilot based on SharePoint capabilities. So this new capability, SharePoint Advanced Management, is going to be available for all Copilot for Microsoft 365 customers. I think the GA moment is early 2025. The capability will be rolling out to select customers actually starting December. So this is also a great news for all of you and for customers who are considering Copilot for Microsoft 365. So these are the 3 big updates that, for Copilot. Moving on to core Microsoft 365, I definitely want to talk about last Tuesday, we also announced we are launching a new tool offer, ME5 CSP promo, 15% off. Starting, and that offer is going to be live in Partner Center on NCE, January the 1st, 2025. So this is going to be a brand new promotion that we're running for ME5 customer. And for all of you who have customers coming up for renewal in Q3, the Microsoft fiscal year Q3, which I know is a big install base for many of you, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to drive an upsell conversation ahead of the renewal moment. As a reminder, we also have the ME3 promo, the Microsoft 365 Enterprise 3 offer in market. That's continuing to be in market, but now we have both the ME3 and the ME5 new to offer promo available to all of you. Coming up next one here, so also last Tuesday we announced this. We are going to have a 5% price uplift to annual commitment monthly pay offers for Microsoft 365, as well as business applications, all per user subscription applies, starting April the 1st, 2025. So this is going to be a pretty big change for your customers who are on existing annual monthly subscription. It's a pretty big install base. So we want to make sure you have enough run rate to plan ahead with your customer in the next 6 to 9 months to really guide them to the right licensing options as part of the coming renewal wave. Last but not least, this is also a pretty nuanced one. I know Marcelo is going to get into a little more details, is we are actually enabling a new capability to enable you to help customers choose their billing frequency, meaning if they want to switch between annual monthly, annual, starting April the 1st, for customers who are on Microsoft 365 Enterprise SKUs with Teams, they are able to switch in between these different billing mix. This is a new capability we are launching April the 1st, 2025. Again, Marcelo will get into a little more details in a couple of minutes. So this is a really good slide for you to take a screenshot to make sure you are on top of the latest product and program changes that Microsoft is really launching. As you can see, we are including a bunch of product changes and also go-to-market changes that will impact your business. So we want to make sure you capture these and you include this into your go-to-market plan and strategy in the next 6 to 9 months. So with that, I want to do actually an announcement to address a lot of your feedback on there's way too many product and program changes coming from Microsoft. It's hard for you to navigate and manage. So I'm super excited to announce we are creating a new program called AI at Work CSP Insider. So if you can please go to aka.ms, AI at Work CSP. This is where you can log in today and just provide the basic information of your company, your email address. So the way for us to use this forum going forward is this is where we're going to invite for future CSP acceleration events, which we host on a quarterly basis, and we do live Q&A as part of that. We'll also send curated updates both from product and program perspective to make sure things are actually highly relevant to your business, both from a product and program perspective will be top of mind for all of you. So I'd absolutely recommend all of you please capture this and go to aka.ms, AI at Work for CSP today so you can be in the loop as we publish and announce future product and program updates. So with that, again, I thank you for being here today, and thank you for everything you are doing to drive the CSP business. I will hand it over to Marcelo, who will double-click into the investment Microsoft is making in the core foundational productivity business to enable and support you to be successful going forward. Marcelo.
All right. Thank you so much, Sela. This is super exciting. Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing here? Good? Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us today here in Chicago and for everybody online. My name is Marcelo Dichtchekenian, and I run the Modern Work SMB business for the GPS organization. And for the next few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about 3 key topics associated to our Microsoft 365 core business. The first one is the upcoming wave of renewals and how to prepare for that. The second one is related to the upcoming price increases that Sela spoke about. And then I'm going to close us off with some best practices associated to GTM assets that we have available for you. So let's kick off with our wave of renewals. And the critical message here is that H2 is the most important part of the year when it comes to renewals, because that's when the majority of them happen. Actually, 45% of them happen in Q3 alone between January and March. And we know that by experience, that these conversations can take time with customers, oftentimes 90 days or even more, depending on the customer scenarios and the complexity associated with it. So the one key takeaway from this slide is that the time to act on renewals is really now. And to help you structure your thoughts around how to go about the renewals, we are outlining here 2 key priorities for you to think about. The first one associated to upselling the high-propensity customers, and the second one associated to renewing all seats on time. When it comes to the priority 1, it's really critical that you leverage your customer management and propensity tools such as Lighthouse and Cloud Ascent to identify who are the renewals coming up for your customers and if those customers have any propensity to be upsold. Then it's a matter to really understanding the customer in terms of the skills that they are using and what is the billing plan they're on so that you can come to the conversations prepared. Then when it comes to renewals on time, well, that's always important, right? But especially so this year in light of the upcoming price changes and in terms of ensuring continuity of the enterprise SKUs with Teams bundled. And I'm going to talk about these two topics in more detail in a minute. And then in addition to that, we learned from last year that the revenue recapture rate for on-time renewals is 20% higher versus that of the late renewals. So that speaks a lot to the importance of planning soon and acting early on renewals. Now let's go back to the priority one about core upselling. These are some of the scenarios that you are very likely to encounter as you discuss with your customers over the next few months, right? We're consolidating the message around getting AI ready with premium security. However, the upsell motion and the sales motions are going to be different depending on where each customer is. So for example, if the customer is on Business Basic or Business Standard, the natural upsell motion would be to Business Premium, backed by the core and the strategic incentives associated to Business Premium. Now, if the customer is on OE3 or ME3, the natural upsell motion would be to ME5, backed by the new 15% off promotion that we just announced. Super excited about that, on top, of course, of the core and the strategic incentives as well. And then for customers in growth markets who are using OE1 right now, you could upsell them to OE1 Plus by leveraging the 30% off promotion available in those markets on top of the CSP core incentives. So just a quick framework for you to think about the different upsell conversations you may be having over the next few months. Now, when it comes to on-time renewals, I have some tips for you on how to manage that, especially having in mind the continuity of the enterprise suites with Teams bundled, right? This is really, really important. And what customers need to do to ensure that they continue with their Teams bundled is renew on time. And partners must support that by either enabling auto-renew or scheduling the change to manage the renewals. That's the critical piece around ensuring the continuity. Because there are some actions that will result in the loss of the Teams bundle, such as switching existing subscriptions to suites without Teams, or changing from another channel to CSP. So for example, a move from EA to CSP will result in the loss of the Teams bundle. Change subscription term commitment, so moving from annual term to month term, changing currency, and as of right now, changing of billing frequency as well. So moving around between annual, and annual monthly. However, the good news about this last one is that starting on April 1st, like Sela was just mentioning, we will enable changing billing frequency without triggering a new subscription, meaning without the customer losing the Teams bundle. So that's coming up on April 1st. That's a great improvement that we'll be seeing the next few months. Now, in terms of things that customers can do to keep their suites with Teams, again, the critical thing is renewing on time by either enabling auto-renew or scheduling the change to manage the renewal. And now that we've discussed renewals and you understand the priorities, I'm outlining here for you a 90-day plan for you to think about the actions that you need to take over the next few months. I love that you're all taking pictures of that. This is something that may help you in the next few months. So the critical thing, again, start early, right? Start early by planning and prioritizing. Leverage your tools such as Lighthouse and Cloud Ascent to understand which renewals are coming and the scenarios associated to those customers, right? Which skills they are using, do they have any propensity to be upsold, which billing plans they're like. So that will allow you to prepare yourself for those customers' conversations. It's also a great time for you to prepare your salespeople by leveraging Level Up, so they're able to land the pitch with the customer. Now, 60 days out, you want to engage with the customers. You can do that by automated tools such as campaigns in a box. You can also leverage CSP briefings, and you can also do one-on-one engagements with those customers, especially for the high priority customers with larger opportunities and upselling associated with it, right? And then in the end, 30 days out, you want to start finalizing the deals and closing the deals by leveraging the promotions that we have in place and earning the incentives so that you can secure all renewals on time. So this is a quick framework for you to think about on the things that you need to do over the next few months to ensure a good wave of renewals. Now let's move on to our second topic around the upcoming price adjustments. So if you haven't heard this, what we announced is that the annual term with the monthly billing prices, also known as annual monthly, are increasing 5% starting April 1st. There are no changes to annual, no changes to month. This is applicable to annual monthly only. And this is the same pricing logic that you're going to be seeing with our launch of Copilot annual monthly on December 1st, but this is for the other SKUs starting on April 1st. And we're doing this change consistently across CSP, MCAE, and Buy Online, so that we have that consistency in terms of pricing across channels, right? And I know that this is going to impact how you have your customer conversations. So I wanted to go through a few scenarios with you to help you think about those conversations. And I know that this is a dense slide. I'm going to try to make it simple for you. So what I try to do here, oh, and by the way, I have this slide for the business SKUs. I have another one for the enterprise SKUs because on that case, you want to think about the continuity of the enterprise suites with Teams bundles, so the scenarios are a little bit different. But let's start with the business SKUs right here. We have 6 scenarios that you can think of, 6 individual customers, right? With their billing plans, their renewal deadline either before or after April 1st, an additional context associated with those customers, meaning if they have any propensity to be upsold or any preference that they might have, and what we recommend you do with that particular customer. I'm not going to go one by one, but let's pick a couple, right? Let's do scenarios 2 and 3. So scenario 2, the customer is on an annual monthly plan. They renew before April 1st, and they have a high propensity to be upsold. In this case, it's very straightforward. We recommend that you upgrade that customer at renewal before April 1st so that the customer can lock 1 additional year on the current annual monthly pricing before the price increase coming up in April. So that's a straightforward case. On scenario 3, it's very similar. However, the renewal deadline comes after April 1st. In this case, what you could do is you could upgrade this customer before April 1st. You could do that as soon as possible so that they can enjoy the current annual monthly pricing on the more premium SKU until the actual renewal date comes, right? And then at that particular point in time, after April 1st, you can discuss with the customer and make the determination as to either keep them on annual monthly or move them to annual. And this is a conversation that's going to vary a lot from customer to customer, and it's going to depend on their preference, right? So if the customer values more cash flow flexibility, then annual monthly is likely the best option for them. However, if the customer is looking at absolute savings as a preference, then annual could be a better option for that particular customer. Now let's take a look at those 2 same scenarios in light of the enterprise suites with the goal of ensuring the continuity of the enterprise suites with Teams bundled. So again, let's go through scenarios 2 and 3. In scenario 2, the customer is on annual monthly with a renewal deadline before April 1st with a high propensity to be upsold. This scenario is also very straightforward. The recommendation is upselling that same subscription on time before April 1st so that the customer can enjoy the full year with the current annual monthly pricing before the price increase and keeping the enterprise suites with Teams bundled. Scenario 3 is a little bit nuanced though. Because the renewal deadline is after April 1st and they are on the enterprise suites with Teams, we recommend waiting until the renewal time after April 1st to make the upselling of that particular subscription, because that's what's going to ensure that the customer continue with the enterprise suite with Teams bundled. That's the renewal on time element that I was just speaking about. And then at that particular point in time, you will also have the customer considerations as to either keep them on annual monthly if they value cash flow flexibility, or move them to annual if they want absolute cost savings. So these are some of the scenarios that you should think about as you identify your customers and the conversations that you might have with them moving forward. And now just some final tips in terms of discussing these price increases with customers, right? So first and foremost, know your customer, review their data, understand when they are coming up for renewal, which SKUs they are using, and what is their billing preference, because that's what will allow you to come prepared for the conversations and provide the right recommendation for that particular customer. Also, you can leverage this price increase as an opportunity to drive renewals, especially for the cases that renew before April 1st, because it's an opportunity for the customer to lock in the current annual monthly price before they increase for 1 extra year. So that's a good opportunity for them. Always, of course, keeping a positive approach and leveraging these changes as an opportunity to support customers and maintain seats and coverage. Now let me close out with some best practices around GTM. And we've seen that our most successful partners have built a full sales cycle winning formula, right? And here we have 2 examples of partners who have invested the time across from pre to post sales to really understand the GTM tools available for them and how to incorporate those sales tools in their motions, right? And that has resulted in very strong business outcomes. So for example, they have spent time up front training their salespeople with Level Up so that they can deliver pitches properly, and then delivering those pitches leveraging CSP briefings, right? These partners have also taken the time to really understand who their customers are and the proper propensity by leveraging tools such as Lighthouse and Cloud Ascent. And then from a post-sales standpoint, they've provided adoption support to ensure not only a successful onboarding, but also that the customer continues using the products after they purchase. So I know while these partners are very large partners, very large corporations with an international footprint, the critical thing is understanding the GTM tools available for you and how you can best incorporate them into your sales motion so that you can build your own winning formula. And that's applicable to partners of all sizes. Now let me close the Microsoft 365 course session out with a quick wrap up and a recap of the critical things that you need to do in order to have a successful wave of renewals coming up, right? So again, start early, plan and prioritize your customers, really understand who they are by leveraging Cloud Ascent and Lighthouse so that you can see which renewals are coming up, who are the customers and their specific scenarios. Also a great time to train your salespeople on Level Up so they are ready to have those conversations with their customers. Then engage with them, leverage campaigns in a box, CSP briefings, and even one-on-one engagements for the high priority scenarios and the high priority customers, right? And then in the end, close the deals by leveraging the promotions that we have in place and earning the CSP incentives to ensure that the renewals are done on time, right? I know that this is a lot, and you do a lot of work to make that happen. I can't thank you enough for that, and know that we are here to support you in every step of the way. So my sincere gratitude to all of you. And now I'm going to pass it over to my friend Matt Goddard for us to talk a little bit about Copilot. Thank you so much, everybody.
Awesome. Hey everybody, it's great to be here. I think we have like 11 minutes left. I got like 25 minutes of content, so this is going to be fun. All right. So let's get started by just saying, I'll just double click on what Sela said previously. It's been incredible to see the amount of momentum we've seen on Copilot in such a short period of time, right? It's only been about 10 months since we landed Copilot in the CSP channel, and already we've seen some amazing things get delivered by many of you. and the scenarios that we're seeing from customers is just really remarkable, right? It's really amazing just to see how quickly you all were able to grab a hold of Copilot and really make something of it. And so I do want to say thank you for that. It's been an incredible journey thus far, and we got a long road ahead of us. So if you follow us along, one of the things that you may have heard about in September is that we launched two things. The first one being the 15% off Copilot promo when you buy 10 or more seats. And the second was the Copilot Getting Started offer, which is really a blueprint of how to package that promotion with a bunch of other things to go to market in a very compelling and an attractive way for customers, right? All with the goal of helping customers get started quickly and with confidence, right? And so the Getting Started offer basically combined three ingredients, right? These three ingredients were important as a standalone, but when brought together, something magical happened. The first piece of this equation was being able to provide services to customers, right? So in this blueprint, we packaged up 15 hours of services that really focused on helping identify use cases and scenarios, all the things that are really important when it comes to planning customers' Copilot rollout. Second was end user training, right? This is a big one. Copilot really requires human change, and so without this, it becomes really difficult for customers to realize value. And so included in here was 2.5 hours of end user training that Microsoft provided on your behalf, right? So that was something really powerful to create and add value. And then the third are the 10 Copilot licenses. So leveraging that promotion, you were able to anchor on that to create a bundled offer that, again, we referred to as the Getting Started offer. The purpose of this offer at the end of the day was really to address feedback that we heard from customers. Okay, and there were really three big things that we heard. The first was that customers had a lot of uncertainty around how to get started, right? This is all new, right? Where do I start? Where do I begin? And so being able to have a very concise, methodical approach packaged up is something that was really valuable and something we tried to achieve with this offer. Second, customers told us over and over again, there's this perception of complexity when it comes to just getting started with AI. And so being able to demystify, right, the level of effort that's needed just to get started to evaluate was important. And then third, we had obviously concerns about that upfront commitment. And by bundling these three things together, it changed the conversation from here's what you're paying for technology to here's what you're paying for an outcome. And that outcome is a successful evaluation of Copilot. And so these little things just bundled together, packaged in a way, has actually seen some really great success in just the last 2 months alone. We have a number of your peers who have actually gone out there, they've taken this guidance that we landed, they've built their own offer, they've tailored it, they've customized it, and they're seeing amazing success. Each of these partners you see on the screen have basically worked with us. They've shown us just how successful this has landed, but also just being able to share the best practices of what they're seeing as to how this is actually just helping to open the door for many of their customers to get started, right? It's a conversation starter, and that's half of the battle when we think about selling in Copilot. We also had about 6,000 downloads of our Getting Started offer development kit, right? Which just goes to show how many of you are actually looking to leverage this and are finding value in it. And so we're going to continue to update this content, continue to update the guidance, and continue to help you be able to land Copilot with your customers. But it doesn't stop there, right? We haven't solved all problems yet. And so we're continuously learning and growing and trying to figure out how best we can support you. And so some of these things were the key challenges that we still hear, right? And Sela kind of emphasized a few of the things that we've already landed to address some of these, but I do want to recap them and just put them in context to one another. So the first one is billing frequency, or billing flexibility, sorry. So we heard about those upfront commitments, right? Creating that Getting Started offer helped to overcome some of those upfront commitment issues, but we truly believe that with the availability on December 1st of annual monthly, this will be another game-changing event to really unlock customers and really make it more accessible for many more. What's really important here is we have a very unique opportunity in December specifically to combine the annual monthly licensing opportunity with that promo that we have in market, right? So 15% off, 10 seats or more. When you combine these two things and create the urgency that around this offer that's expiring at the end of December, you can really create an awesome moment to drive momentum. And so what I've done actually is I have created a video. I think we need a little energy. So I got a little video here, which basically just tells how you can kind of package this up and land this with customers in December. This video is kind of built to be customer facing. So if you wanted to leverage it after the fact in your own bill of materials, feel free to do so. So without that, let's roll the video and see how you can package these two things together.
AI is reshaping the workplace like never before, but taking that first step can be daunting. What if you could unlock the value of AI at an unbeatable price with less upfront commitment? Introducing the Getting Started offer for Copilot. Between now and December 31st, save 15% when you buy 10 or more licenses of Copilot and lock in this amazing price for the next 12 months. Add up to 300 additional licenses at any time during your subscription period. Better yet, starting December 1st, you can pay monthly to minimize that upfront cost. Now's the perfect time to maximize value with Copilot. Ready to get started with confidence? Bundle 10 Copilot licenses with partner consulting services and training to help you plan and get set up for success. Starting with 10 or more users lets you kick off your Copilot journey with a team or department, maximizing collaboration and value. Once you've identified your initial users, get them up to speed fast with our Microsoft-provided 2.5-hour SMB tailored training, helping them make the most out of Copilot right away. Wherever you are in your Copilot journey, now's the perfect time to harness AI power. Unlock innovation and 15% savings with our promo today, and enjoy Copilot's benefits for the year ahead.
All right, awesome. So that's the first piece, all right? So definitely combine promo, annual, monthly, take advantage of the opportunity in December specifically to get customers starting 2025 off right and with Copilot. Second is around data governance. We've already talked about this a little bit, so I'm going to speed it up just based on time. But SharePoint Advanced Management available as an included component inside of Copilot. So this will definitely help to make sure that your customers have the underlying technology that they need to be able to look over data management, enhance data security, and just give peace of mind, right? Being able to know what is actually happening as far as minimizing data sprawl and other things. And the third thing is demonstrating ROI. The number one question we get from customers is, what is this going to do for me? Is this going to be valuable, right? How is it going to help my organization grow and be more efficient? And so we are taking necessary steps to help you have the right tools and resources to have that conversation as a starting point. We've just commissioned a Copilot for SMB Total Economic Impact Study. This is a great way to at least start the conversation, be able to articulate the value that Copilot can bring a small business. Again, we do a lot of these things for our enterprise customers. This time around, we finally have something that's tangible for the SMB audience and will be a great resource for you to leverage. When we also think about value, it's also important to understand that the product is evolving. In Wave 2 for Copilot, we landed this back in September, but there is a plethora of new features and capabilities that we've brought to market, making the experience across all of the apps much more impactful, whether that be data analytics within Excel or the meeting chat experience within Teams or narrative builder in PowerPoint. I mean, the list goes on, and it's only going to grow. And so we need to make sure that we continue to leverage that innovation to entice customers and help them really understand how we can unlock new scenarios as we move forward. But one of the biggest things that we announced was agents. All right? I feel like this is the big thing on top of everybody's minds is agents, agents, agents. The key thing here, if you're not familiar, Copilot agents are essentially AI assistants that boost productivity and help to automate tasks. They follow a set of instructions. They adapt to specific personalities. They're really working with you or for you, right, to achieve specific goals. The key thing here is that agents kind of work on a spectrum, right? They could do lots of different things. From retrieving information, right? A lot of what we see today has really been retrieval of information. But they could also be used to do tasks, right? They could take actions when asked, all the way through what the hope is, and I think what excites most people is this autonomous agent, right? Being able to work autonomously, operate independently of the user, and be able to learn and escalate as needed. And so there's a really interesting and compelling story to be had as we think about agents and what it's going to be able to do for customers as we move forward. Now, the other thing really awesome about agents is that it can serve both employees as well as customers, right? And this is a key thing, right? We've been talking a lot about Copilot, right? Copilot is kind of an internal tool for employees to use, and agents can only make that story better and more valuable as you think about extending Copilot to lines of business systems and data sources. But what's also really interesting about agents is that customers can extend that to their customers, right, as standalone agents so that they can still tap into first and third-party resources and apps, but be able to interact with that end customer, right? This is really where customers can start to see business value as far as increasing revenue and reducing operational costs, which is really exciting. I have a demo here. We'll see if this actually works, but I know we're up on time, so let's see if we can quickly show this, and then we'll try to close out. But here we're going to pretend like we are a manager who has a team, and we want to look at the shifts, right, for a specific individual. You can see here we have the shifts agent turned off, right? So when you ask that question around, hey, what's Emily's shifts for this week, what you're going to find is that Copilot unsuccessfully comes back with an answer of, I don't have that specific information to be able to answer that question. This is where the power of agents come in, right? Being able to connect Copilot, that UI for AI, to that agent. You could ask that same question, but you'd be able to get the rich response that you would hope to receive, right? Which is Emily's shift schedule, as an example. Again, this is a very basic example of kind of a retrieval type agent. On the flip side of it, let's pretend we're the customer now, or a Contoso Electronics. We can create an agent for the end user to interact with on their website, right? So now we could actually ask for, which laptops do you have available? We can also ask to tell me about the specs of those devices, right? The idea here is that an end customer can interact with an agent autonomously to be able to get lots of relevant information so that they can make a more informed purchase decision. And you can even then allow the end user to escalate, right, or request a virtual appointment, right, with a salesperson. And so all things can kind of be built in directly into this experience using agents with Copilot. And so it's getting to that point where it's doing the virtual appointment here. But I'm going to move on just for the sake of time. As you think about building your go-to-market and thinking about the opportunity, there's really three things that you can ultimately go do. Option one, as you already have M365 Copilot offers in market, this is your opportunity to just embed the agent opportunity within that, right? This is where customers are ultimately going to find real business value. And so being able to take that and just incorporate, kind of create one combined story is going to be really, really impactful for you. Option two, right, as you get more familiar with agents and what it can do, great opportunity to build a new agent-specific CSP offering. Right? This is really all about how do we solve specific business challenges, business needs, and totally transform business processes for an individual customer. And then, of course, option three would be to go even further, right, to expand your agent-specific CSP offering to more sources of data, to more information, and really build out that story where maybe it's not just one agent, but multiple kind of working within that organization. All right, so we talked about leveraging and leading with the 15% off promo, so I'm not going to spend more time there. I do want to land one additional thing because I think is really important and really interesting. But when you think about Copilot and your journey to go to market and land this with customers, one of the most important things that you're going to need is information and data that's going to help you identify which customers are right for Copilot and how to manage that Copilot journey with them. And so we're really excited to announce that earlier this month we started to roll out slowly, but it should be hitting everybody by this point, Copilot Insights within Microsoft 365 Lighthouse. If you're not familiar with Lighthouse, this is a tool for our CSP partners to give you lots of different information to manage your customers. And so I have a short video that will just show you what Copilot Insights is and how you can ultimately use it within your organization to manage and land your Copilot go-to-market motion moving forward.
Keeping up with AI innovations and the growing demand for Copilot can be challenging, especially when you're managing other priorities with your business. That's where Microsoft 365 Lighthouse comes in, your go-to for managing your customers' Copilot journey from discovery to deployment. New models provide precise propensity scoring, helping you identify which customers are ready for Copilot. With this data at your fingertips, you know who to reach out to first, saving valuable time. Boost your sales conversations with tailored recommendations and easy-to-use Copilot content, like pitch decks and email templates, saving you time to focus on growing your business. Once your customers are ready to purchase, use the deployment plan checklist to ensure they're set up and secure with the right privacy controls and policies. Want to see how your customers are using Copilot and how you can help them find more value? Easily monitor which customers are actively using Copilot in which apps, and quickly assign unused licenses, ensuring they get the most out of their AI investment. With Microsoft 365 Lighthouse, you can manage your customers' Copilot experience from start to finish, making your workflow smoother and more efficient, and ultimately supporting your success as a trusted partner. Let's get started today.
All right. And the third piece that I'll call out here is that we have a quick start training. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but 2.5 hours of end user training that we're providing essentially on your behalf. That is available. You can take a quick snapshot of the link here. I'm going to move on, though, just so that we can close this out today. But this is a great opportunity for you to help your customers be able to get access to training right from day one, get them up and running and seeing value. Without necessarily having to invest in that training piece. We know how difficult it is just to keep up with a lot of the new innovation, and so this will be a great resource for all of you. So with that, I'm going to close with 3 things, right, to wrap up today. The first one is we have a really awesome couple of months ahead of us. The first thing we want to make sure everyone does is you're building your renewal plan, right, your T-90 renewal plan. We have a great link here where you can get a renewal toolkit with all of the resources that we talked about today and more. 2 is lead with that Copilot Getting Started offer. If you haven't built an offer already, do so. Leverage the guidance and the development toolkit that we built. So you can go to ak.ms/Copilot Getting Started. And last but not least, all of the content, resources, materials that we've kind of shared, you could package it up to create your own winning formula. And we have the link there for you as well. So no shortage of resources to help you, get started on this journey. But we're really excited to have you on this journey with us, and we can't wait to see what we can achieve this next year. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and sorry for running so quickly towards the end there.